Nick Cannon Mornings on Power 106. It's that time, man, where probably my favorite time, especially when we're in the presence of greatness. It's those up close and personal conversations, just close conversations with people that I admire, that I look up to, and this brother is definitely that, is the definition of that. One of the greatest entertainers, from acting to writing to directing, but in my top 5 of MCs, rappers, the one and only Ice Cube, man.
Yeah, man.
Come
Much
on,
love,
man.
Nick.
This is
Damn,
an
you
honor.
always
This
give me love,
is
man.
a moment. Nah, this is real though, and we say this. I know you caught the Rick Ross interview where we were asking.
Appreciate it, man.
His
Much
top
love
5.
to Rick Ross.
But again, we're in the wake of people putting out all their lists.
Yes.
And I've been wanting to speak up that, to me, most of the lists are just inaccurate. I'm not even going to give my opinion of whether I like them or not. It's just the inaccuracy of, because to me, the way I rate hip-hop is, what is your effect on culture? And I can truly say that even beyond just music, your effect on just our culture, whether you call it black culture, urban culture, or just youth culture, whatever it is, you have probably affected our culture more than anyone when it comes to comedy, when it comes to film, when it comes to music, from activism, freedom of speech. I think you're one of those people who have done so much for our community, for our people, that people just tend to forget. And they only think, oh yeah, he the dude that got his own basketball league. Or he the dude that produced Hip Hop Squares, and all those things are great. But like, when we want to go all the way back, you were one of the first to speak out for young black men, whether it was from Fuck the Police with NWA to America's KKK. That's how I always called it. America's KKK Most Wanted. That album in itself, of just as a young dude, just like, yo, you could say that? Yo, you could speak out and have those opinions. And I think now, because a lot of people are just, we got the ADD generation, we forget that, yo, you were speaking up and saying things at a time when no one was speaking, like during those times of Public Enemy and KRS-One, and then to have the longevity to still be putting out records and music and movies and TV shows today. Man, we are truly in the presence of greatness. It's an honor, man.
Man, thank Nick. Man, I mean, I'm speechless. I mean, it's like,
I gotta give you your flowers more than
that-
your flowers, man. I gotta give you your statues on the Mount Rushmore while you here.
I just thank God that I was put in this position to be able to do all these things. You know what I mean? That I didn't get pigeonholed where, it's like you just do one thing and you're never able to create on all these different levels. So I just feel blessed to be in this position. So I feel like I got to go hard.
Yeah.
I got to be focused, and I got to, give people a shot that normally wouldn't get a shot, because that's how I feel like I normally wouldn't get a shot. And people like Dr. Dre or John Singleton or somebody saw something in me and gave me that shot. So I love when I can help a young artist that I know
needs it.
They just need exposure. They're talented without me, but they just need the right platform, the right exposure to be able to do their thing.
So long. I mean, like, shouts out, like, from like the Cypress Hill days, who just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Like, I would have never known who Cypress Hill was if it wasn't for Ice Cube. I mean, and even so many people that we forget that just even you've been putting on for the city for so long that people just truly forget. And so I just want to be one of those reminders. I have a platform.
Everybody ain't forgetting.
Yeah.
As I can see, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing just to have acknowledgement. But what moves me is what I'm going to do tomorrow, man. Not what I did yesterday. That's really what it's all about, what I'm going to do tomorrow. And, and then we'll look back and take score.
And I think you're a person kind of like myself, to where you're so focused on the next move that you never really gloat about all the things that you have done, or really say, hey, I put this person on, or I started this, or I did that. But being even the fact that, we hearing a lot of stuff, people give shouts out to Jay-Z, shouts out to all these people because of the amount of money or the list that they're on. But And I think that's great and phenomenal. But when you think about, we got a black man that is running his own basketball league with some of the greatest basketball players of our generation, and the big three, you guys been out there killing it. I still got to understand, where did all of that come from? Like, how were you able to be like, the big three? Not only is it a league that is completely different from the NBA, but you're giving people opportunities, you're entertaining people, and then it's yours. Like, you kind of just like I've known, since today was a good day, that your hoop game been crazy. But just being a fan of just the NBA and then saying, I'm gonna get my own league. Like, where does that come from?
Just a fan wanting to see it happen and looking around and seeing, the people around me, and do we have enough talent to make it happen?
Right.
And when I said yeah, and we answered all the questions, it was like, why not? Why not go for it if we have the ability to bring it into existence? And 3-on-3 is cool. I mean, 3-on-3, most people played more 3-on-3 in their life than 5-on-5.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go to school,
facts.
Yeah, you can go to school, you're going to play 3-on-3. You're not getting no 5-on-5 game unless it's after school and everybody going home.
Yeah, and I want to chop it up with you about that too, because I actually just directed and produced a movie about 3-on-3 basketball, specifically with women. It's called She Ball. It was myself, Cedric the Entertainer, Chris Brown, so many people in it, and we shot it here in Inglewood. And I was like, we some big threes. We can do some things. So that's coming out. We actually about to do the festival run for it and stuff. But again, even as a filmmaker myself, I've been inspired by you, man, and just all the things where you just said, look, I see a white space. I'm going to jump in it and fill it. Yeah. And a lot of people don't believe all bad. They're like, oh, nah, he can't do that. Like, even when you, directed Players Club and all that stuff like that, I've been watching your moves and paying attention. So even with this big three, even because I'm pretty sure there were some haters. I'm like, man, what is this? And even I've been looking in the media, but you've been steadfast, man. You've been solid, 10 toes down. How does that, even as the entrepreneur, as the businessman, knowing what's up against you and knowing trying to create your own, people gonna hate on it?
Yeah. Well, I always looked at, it's a few kind of people. It's people that's ahead of the curve.
Right.
It's people that's waiting for the curve, and there's people behind the curve.
Chase it. Them chasers.
Yeah, so, sometimes being ahead of the curve, you lose out because you're ahead of people and they can't see what you see around the corner.
Yeah.
And somebody will come in second place and take the idea and run with it. So it's something that you have to
Edison.
It's something that you really have to manage, but I don't listen to people who are behind the curve. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just their opinions, I'll tell them what to think when they catch up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But I listen to people who are, either on the curve or pushing to be ahead of the curve.
Right.
And you got to be somewhat fearless
in this. Yeah.
You have to, because it's a lot of uncertainty when you're doing something like this, and you have to manage that in your mind, because it's only, it's unforeseen.
Yeah. It's uncharted territory.
There you go, uncharted territory. So you have to try not to let that anxiety
and all the people who don't believe,
deflect your mission.
Yeah.
And you and it's a thing where you have to be pure and honest with yourself. As a fan, it's something that I'm like, damn, if this came to the Staples Center, would you leave the house and pull up? Yeah. And the answer was like, yeah, who wouldn't?
Right.
To see these dudes play. And so I figure, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with, it's a lot of basketball fans out there.
Yeah.
It's the summer. It's a big void.
And Summer League, people don't know, Summer League ball is that's when we go out. That's when we would go to Rucker Park. That's when we would go to the Drew League, all of those things. So you just putting it on a platform that the masses can come see it.
Can come check it out and be a part of it and see high-level competition, especially
of some of the
on
greats.
The 3-on-3. It's like half-court 3-on-3. Why wouldn't they be just as good as they used to be in 5-on-5.
And that's even like you said, when you go to the park, you see the old cats, the OGs hooping. They from their trash talk there like that was inspiring the young kids. So to be able to see that played at a high level, to almost like, yo, these cats still got it. Like people don't put that into perspective when they're saying like, yo, I want the level of competition of those guys even still believing in themselves. That's a story within itself.
I mean, it's showing that age ain't nothing but a number.
Exactly.
Because it's really all about either you can do it or you can't.
Yeah.
And it's not a pickup game. It's not a celebrity game.
Right.
Them dudes is not just out there messing around.
Yeah.
They want to beat each other. They want to win. They want to trash talk at the hotel.
At the highest level.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
They want to be able to talk mess to you all season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they beat you week 3.
Yeah.
All that stuff is going on. So the competition, they got legacy on the line.
Yeah.
They on TV. And, if you can't ball at that level, it shows.
Yeah.
And you probably shouldn't be in the Big 3.
And it's really inspiring to see not only what you've done with the Big 3, but even just the fact that you don't have any small concepts. Like, you think beyond the Coliseum. You have everything from a bird's eye view. And that makes me, when we talk hip-hop for a second, because what I've noticed about you, you have done more and have all the things that everybody raps about, but I don't see you gloating or boasting about it. Like, it ain't about the watch or the chain that Cube has. It's never been that. I don't see, even if you do it, I don't see Ice Cube on the yachts and the private jets. Like, it's more about, you've always seemed like somebody that is tangible, that you can connect with, and you're speaking to the community. Even with the Big 3, even it being yours, you like, yo, this is what I want to see, this is what I want to be a part of. Is that a product of your longevity? Like, is it like, yo, I don't need to tell you what I got, you either know it or you don't know it? Or have you just not ever been really a boastful cat on that level when it comes to like material things?
I've never really been crazy into bragging about material stuff.
Right.
I mean, you in hip hop, it's a braggadocious, boisterous type of
about who's the best.
Yeah,
but then it became about this material thing, like how many diamonds I got and how many cars and
I thought that would make me seem out of touch with my audience.
Right.
Even though I know, everybody wants those things.
Right.
But everybody don't have those things. So,
right.
I'm the kind of dude that you got to notice me wearing it, but I'm not about to tell you I got it on. You see what I'm saying?
Right. That's real gangster. Like, hey, either you recognize or
you don't.
Right.
So that's just how I always been. You always gonna discover something. I'm not gonna be like, nigga, look what I got.
Yeah.
I'm about to pull.
I'm pulling up in the new thing.
Nah, to me that's
you don't need. You have so much more to say.
Yeah, to me, certain things don't have to be said. And
right.
when you say them, it makes you look small. It doesn't make you look bigger. It makes you look smaller when you flossing on anybody or people that don't got it.
But when it comes to those things like the Forbes list, and this is us talking inside baseball right now, inside basketball. It's like, when we say that, it means like a lot of people don't know that there's publicists and stuff that are involved in those lists, and it shows to kind of boost that person's business at the time or whatever, and even how they get to equate someone being worth $1 billion or doing it certain, but. I feel like they don't look at people like you because you've been doing it for so long, because they'll rank someone's year, and it won't be about how much went into that person's bank account or that money or what the tangible dollars that they have. They'll say, oh, his tour generated X amount of dollars. This product that he promotes generated X amount of dollars. So we're going to add all of that up, and we're going to say that this is this person's worth. But if they added up all of the value from Ice Cube, from the Big 3 to the movies, the box office generation, the album sales, all the other things, hip hop squares, all these things that you're involved in, it's beyond billions. But I don't look on those lists and see Ice Cube's name every year. Like, I think that's a problem.
I don't.
He's like, I don't want people to know how much money I got.
I don't. It don't. To me, that shouldn't matter.
Right.
I mean, it shouldn't matter to nobody but me.
Right.
You know,
Facts.
to be honest, it's really all about, it ain't all about what I got. It's all about what I can give you. It's all about what I can produce that you can be a part of.
It ain't about what I got, it's what I could give you.
Yeah, you know, it's about what I can produce that you could be a part of.
Facts.
You know, if it's a movie, it's music, or it's basketball, whatever, you know, do it make you happy? Do it make you feel good? Do it make you feel like you didn't waste your time and waste your money?
Yeah.
To me, that's what it's all about. It's not about, you know, how much this one got or that one got, or this one don't got or that one don't got. It's about, you know, how much product are they producing? How much are they doing that's dope? How many things are they leaving on the earth when they're gone that'll still be here to entertain people? So
that's real wisdom.
That's really
right
what
there.
it's all about.
That's true wisdom. And you say that it's all, I have this quote that I always use, and I even got it on the wall in my office. It's like the difference between a boss and a leader. Like what we were talking about, that Forbes talk, that's boss talk. Yeah. But it's like, oh, look, I'm sitting up and I'm watching all the people admire what I got. A leader is like, I'm gonna get down there with you and give you this opportunity, blaze these trails, and then now once I'm gone, that legacy is shown that, look, I gave this, I gave myself. And speaking of giving and being that leader, you've always been a leader in our community. And I just gotta ask, because this is something I just always really wanted to know. For a moment, and especially like in your music, you were definitely one of those people speaking out for us, for our people, for the black community, unapologetically. Like from fuck the police to America's KKK to Death Certificate, always being one of those voices. And knowing the current condition and climate in America, I truly got to know, like, because I want to know what Ice Cube thinks about what's going on in the world. And is there a platform where you're able to say that? Because now, you know, you family friendly at certain times where they only know you from certain things. But there's been times where the FBI was at you for speaking the truth.
I mean, I just dropped a record last year called Everything's Corrupt.
Right.
And, you know, it's speaking on what I feel about what's going on. You know, it's in some ways part of the plan, and, you know, a lot of people got to wake up,
right?
Come up out this matrix,
facts,
and see what's really going on. You know, they boxing us in, on every level. You know, and you've been
saying that for so long, and then started to lead by example by creating opportunities. You generate, like you said, you've generated platforms for other people to become millionaires. Yeah. And I feel like that's somewhat of the answer, but we can't turn a blind eye to what's going on.
Yeah, we just gotta. Everybody gotta open their mind up and you know, deal with it on their level. But you know, I was saying that we're just becoming digital slaves, you know, and that's really what's happening, that they're enslaving us digitally. And
we're doing it for the likes.
Yeah, and we're putting our whole world, you know,
it's group thinking.
We you know, a lot of people talk about the mark of the beast and this all this that, and the other, and they think it's a computer chip in your hand,
right?
But it might be your iPhone in your hand. You know, I mean, that's never know.
Game.
I mean, it's your whole world is in that thing, and your whole life is digital now. You know, what's real,
right?
What's solid.
Everybody's in the matrix. We all avatars.
You know, everybody done had their iTunes songs deleted somehow.
Right.
You know, and had to rebuy it. And so what do we really own now? What are we really buying? What you know, we gotta understand what's really happening.
When it's someone like you who understands, been saying it for so long, and I get this because, you know, I'll be out here in my turbans and bulletproof vests and trying to be pro-black, like learning from, like, some of the first things I heard about our people was from your albums and the things that you were talking about, and speaking up for the Minister Farrakhan's and all that back in the day. Is it at a point now it's like, yo, I said it, I don't really, if you know it, you know it, or is it one of those things where you focus on, you don't have time to do that because of things like the big three and providing opportunities. I think even like somebody like Tyler Perry said, he didn't want to focus on the Oscars being so white because he was over there building his own studio. Mm-hmm. Like, is it you've taken away from being the voice and now you just want to be the actual engine, or is it just like? Is there room for both? Should I take my turban off and be quiet and just get to working?
No, you should be yourself.
Right.
And I do both. What happens is, the media chooses to focus on the stuff that makes them feel good and not the stuff that, challenges the system.
Right.
Like I said, dropped the album last year, and
speaking truth on
it. The music is raw, it's real. But I speak to everybody. I don't just speak to the system.
Right.
I speak to us as black people in our own community.
Right.
So everybody, to me, all pencils need to be sharpened at some point. So when you go dull, you need to sharpen back up.
And iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. And so I feel like I do it, and it's just, it's kind of not, really focused on as much as a comedy movie or a basketball league. So,
and then like you said, the media chooses to focus on things right now. One thing that's really going on big, and we've had this conversation as well, is hip hop and who are the greatest. Mm-hmm. And like I said, me and Ross had the conversation. And I always say this, and I'm glad I got a platform now to actually talk about not only how influential and important West Coast music is, but some of the fixtures in the game. And top 5, hands down, I always say you're in there as for doing what you do. But I gotta know, what's Ice Cube's top 5?
Oh man,
who are your? And it could be favorite or greatest, like just who you enjoy.
I like. Always look at the influencers, the pioneers,
right?
The ones who, virtually created a style or a flavor all their own.
Right.
So my greats are people like Melly Mel.
Ooh.
Ice-T.
Ooh.
Chuck D. KRS-One.
Ooh. We got one more, Cube.
I'll put Rakim in there.
Ooh. But that's that top 5 right there can take out anybody.
I mean, to me, those are the trendsetters, the ones who changed the trajectory of the game in a major way. And to me, if you don't,
and that wasn't about money.
No,
that wasn't about.
It was about skills.
That was just pure
and
skills,
talent, and
affecting culture.
Yeah, and really having their own style and taking it and running with it.
And we talked about this on the show in the morning. Because of someone who's kind of been a child of hip hop and been able to use hip hop to allow me to go to many different areas. The importance, really, you having a bird's eye view of an individual being able to rhyme words.
Mm-hmm.
We debate about it. People become millionaires over it. But sometimes because there's a lack of substance, is it really just about skill level of putting words together? Because Dr. Seuss does that.
Yes.
But it's like, so do we put too much emphasis on what a rapper is, opposed to should there be a new name or title of, because to me, activism or someone who truly cares about the community should be way more important. We need more Malcolm X's than we got Kodak Blacks. But it's like we put so much emphasis on the guys who are hot of the moment, and there's not new leaders out there.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that shift happen.
Right.
Around 93.
Okay.
It went from focusing on the rappers that really have something to say about our condition to the rappers who just wanted to escape our condition, through, weed, women, or jewelry, cars, money.
And it's
clubbing.
Fun to listen to.
I mean, it's escapism. It's escapism. Now pills and, all that stuff is escapism rap. And it's easier to accept because when you listening to somebody who's really telling you the real, it's hard. Them records are not easy to listen to sometimes, especially when, you know that they're talking directly to you.
Right.
And, some people, when they go to kick it and go get entertained, they don't want to hear all that. They want to just party.
Right.
And so that's what we've been fighting against is, that good feeling of just partying, not caring, not really, worried about tomorrow type music over the, the ones that make you think, the ones that make you focus, the ones that make you change your behavior.
Right.
The ones that's trying to help you get out the situation you in.
Right.
So, everybody choose, you got the friend that's always telling you what you need to be doing.
Right.
You got the friend that's always
like your character in Higher Learning.
Yeah. And then you got, somebody like Smokey, who you want to hang out with most of the time. Most of the time people want to hang out with somebody like Smokey. You're going to laugh, you're going to do all that good stuff. But when Smokey go home, you're going to have your problems to deal with.
And speaking of Smokey, you brought it up. Like, are we going to see Smokey and Craig and Day Day and all of them back together again? And like,
I hope so. I mean, we're going to see, most of them. It's really about Chris Tucker making a commitment.
Right.
But
come on, Chris, quit playing. Do it for the culture.
He's not going to hold up the movie.
Yeah, so we are going to see another Friday.
Yes, sir.
Is it going to be called Last Friday?
Yep.
Last Friday.
Yep.
That's going to be fire. Man, I'm just saying, can I get a cameo? I just want a cameo so I can be a part of the greatness.
I got a long line of people asking for a cameo.
Everybody should be here Last Friday.
Man, I got like 400 cameos.
But real talk,
you could be one of them.
I mean, think about it. Like all of the people that have stepped through your franchises, man, and it's to say a lot. And just as someone who's, I would say, forget how we classify it. You're one of the greatest storytellers of our culture. Like if it doesn't go down from the stories that you have shared with us, from Boys in the Hood, from Friday, from the barbershops, to all of the great albums, from the NWA to your own personal things, like I don't think there's been anyone who's been able to share stories. And when you break down what entertainment is and you speak of escapism, that's you know what I mean? Like we look to you for so much happiness, so much awareness, and I gotta ask, what's next? Next we gonna see Last Friday, but in Big 3, and we know we got hip hop squares coming, but what's next for Ice Cube in this world of entertainment?
I want to get into more dramas. I think I've done a lot of comedies most of my career, and I just think I'm leaving things on the table with that. So, I want to do more of them. But, we got, certain things cocked and loaded.
Yeah, can we make this Chrome and Paint movie, man? Come on.
It's like I've been waiting forever to do that movie.
We both have a love for car culture and West Coast culture.
Yeah.
Ice Cube wrote a fire script that back in the day that we was trying to get going.
Yeah, I know, man, but hopefully we'll get that done.
That's what I'm saying.
The script is still,
it's still fire. And like knowing that you have the ability, you're a button pusher. You're one of those people that can make anything happen. How do you pick and choose what comes next? I'm gonna go do an album right now. I'm gonna focus on Big 3. I'm gonna hip hop squares and all of that stuff.
Well, it's really all about the not just making the project, but promoting the project. How much the company is into it. How much they want to blow it up beyond just the normal, just toss it out there. So it has to be this, kind of 360-degree effort.
Right.
Or it's not worth doing it. If everybody's not willing to go that extra mile to make sure that this gets attention or is due, status or prestige, so to speak.
Right.
Then I won't do it, because just making something that's great and nobody see it or it's not promoted right, it's like the most frustrating thing you can ever do, because you like this is great.
I have my passion and I put my blood, sweat, and tears.
And then people see it, months after the kind of the thrill is gone, and they tell you how great it is. You be like, yeah, man.
What's one of the projects that you wish people paid more attention to, that you're like, man, I put my heart into this and it didn't get that attention that some of the other things did?
Oh man, I think The Last Barbershop
that was dope.
Was a good movie. We put our foot in it, but it's a lot of movies out there. I mean, I wish I could have finished Janky Promoters.
Oh yeah,
I never got
but
a
that
chance
still
to
became a
finish that
cult
movie.
classic.
Yeah, but it's unfinished.
Right.
And the music in it is wrong. It's like,
Man.
there's so much wrong about it that I just wish people could see the director's cut of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and man, I'm so inspired by you and all your moves. I could sit here and talk to you for hours, but I know we don't have all of the time. But
Yeah, man, this has been a great conversation, man.
yeah,
I mean,
and that's the purpose. Want to have these platforms to where we
Yeah.
could speak to the ones who blaze the trails for us. But I gotta say that just as a man, as someone, and this is beyond entertainment, you have been such a fine example for men all around the world. Man, a father, a husband. I suck at being in relationships. I failed in that work. I always say I'm never being in another relationship again. Being somebody who's been such a great father, such a great husband, and a great example as a man. Any words of advice to somebody who out here single, trying to get it right, trying to figure it out? Like, how can I keep it together in this entertainment game and be as solid as Ice Cube?
Well, I mean, I got things that I could do better too. So, but I would say, you just have to make a true commitment,
Right.
And you have to really be focused on that,
Right.
And not be willing to let that commitment go.
Right.
And I think that's
Commitments truly mean something. That build your character and being solid to another individual, to your family. Like,
yeah.
it's like you
and
even
to
have
yourself.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because I mean, staying committed to your family is to me what it's all about. Everything else is not important as that.
And as a father, you have to be proud to see your son doing his thing.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Like I remember just seeing him, around LA growing
Yeah.
up, and now he just out here bossing up, and you job well done, man.
Thank you. I mean, I gotta get a credit to my wife.
We always got to get a credit to the moms. The queens are the ones who actually get it done.
They do
but
a lot of
you led by example.
We got good kids, man, and that's
Yeah.
all we can hope for. That's all we wanted. And the fact that they're doing well, even in the industry, is just a blessing.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of all of them.
Yeah.
I know, Junior is the one that's out there, but for the most part, my son Daryl, my daughter Karima, my other son Sharif, they all great in their own respects. They all do something that's amazing.
Nah, that's what's up.
So, it's great to still,
That's true success.
influence them and make sure they on the right path.
Man, well, I hope I could be as great of a father, entertainer, and man that you have become.
Oh man, you're a hell of a businessman, man.
I appreciate that, man. I try.
I see you too. I see what you're doing.
I try.
Me and my wife talk about you all the time, man.
That's what's up.
That you, no matter what, you always shine, and we appreciate you, man, because you are a great entertainer, and you do have vision, and
Thank
you do
you,
help
man.
a lot of people that people don't see.
Yeah.
And you're doing a lot of things that people don't see, but we see.
We appreciate it. And you, as much as we solid, we stay down for each other. I can't let you get out of here because I do it every time I have an up close and personal conversation. Got my vest on. We got our firing squad questions. It's quick, rapid questions. You just hit them from the hip. Whatever I say, you give me an answer. We go from there. We keep it moving.
Okay.
All right, here we go. First question: loved or feared?
Loved.
Ooh, that's big coming from Ice Cube. All right. Ice Cube's biggest fear.
Biggest fear, failure.
Ooh, okay. All right. Favorite cuss word.
Fuck.
Favorite job.
Entertainment.
All right. Best piece of advice you've ever received.
Mind your own and you live longer.
Ooh, worst piece of advice you ever received.
Worst piece of advice I ever received. You should stick with the group, man.
I love that. Favorite restaurant.
Favorite restaurant, I would say Dan Tanner's.
Ooh, Over there in Santa Monica, yeah.
man.
Yeah, they get the Italian joint getting it going. All right, man, so many things. If Ice Cube was on an island, 3 things that he would have with him.
My wife, my kids, and
Good
my
choice.
music.
There it is. And last but not least, best word that describes Ice Cube.
Solid.
Ooh. And there you have it. This has been an up close and personal conversation with the legendary Ice Cube. Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
man. Nick, love you, boy.
Love you too.